Hi, my name's McCormick. I'm the author of a new book called As Long as It's Fun. It's a biography of sailing couple Lin and Larry Pardey, perhaps the most famous voyaging couple of our era. The Pardeys sailed around the world in two boats they built themselves, a 24-footer called Seraphim and a 29-footer called Taliesin. Just remarkable voyages, without engines, remarkable feats of seamanship. They traveled from the high latitudes of northern Europe to around Cape Horn and just about everywhere in between. The Pardeys met in Southern California in the early 1960s. Larry was a Canadian boat builder who'd come south. He had dreams of sailing the high seas. Lynn was a valley girl from the San Fernando Valley who was young and kind of rootless and wanted to find something interesting to do with her life. When the Pardeys met, magic happened. They ended up sailing twice around the world, and they were prolific writers. They ended up chronicling their adventures in hundreds of magazine articles and 13 books, which made them really the most famous sailing couple of their era. And they also produced DVDs, conducted hundreds of seminars. They were authorities on long-distance sailing, and they were very controversial in some ways. I really enjoyed writing this book because it was a little bit about voyaging, it's a little bit about relationships, it's a little bit about the high seas. It's kind of a sea story, it's a love story, it's an adventure story. It has many, many different and interesting facets. The Pardeys, they were kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Forrest Gump. They were in South Africa when Nelson Mandela was elected president. They were in Israel shortly after the raid in Entebbe. Everywhere they seemed to go, their lives coincided with these really epic world events that were happening. Like any couple, they had their highs and their lows, but it was a fascinating story to write for me. The Pardeys are still going strong. They're sailing down in New Zealand now, where they have a small home. Lin and Larry are terrific people. They've been role models and mentors to me for a long time, and I really enjoyed this project. Thanks very much. I hope you'll read and enjoy my book.